A month after Edgerunners and Cyberpunk 2077 is still getting 1 million active players per day, according to various outlets. And the question remains is the game actually good enough to pick up? This article over at Games Radar talks about how Cyberpunk 2077's second wind is still going strong. And while some people attribute a lot of the recent activity due to the Edgerunners show on Netflix, and of course we can absolutely count that towards this, there's a lot more at play here. And if you've ever seen any of my content covering Cyberpunk 2077, the answer is this game worth it is an absolute resounding yes. Now, of course, I've been going through and playing another playthrough on the PS4 Slim, having not played the game since it originally launched, and it was a bug-ridden mess back in the day. I played through, even with all the blue screen crashes and issues, and still had a good time. But wanting to play it again now that it's resurging in the popularity charts, diving back in over the past couple of weeks, doing the playthrough series that I've been releasing here on YouTube, I can say it's absolutely a nearly flawless experience, and its resurgence in popularity is, yes, partly due to Netflix, but also due to the fact that it's just a damn good game. Bugs aside, if they had had a proper launch, I think we would have seen a completely different story, but that's neither here nor there. We're going to be talking about this and other things related to Cyberpunk 2077 today. I'm Tim Anderson, aka Renfail, sometimes known as the Bearded Dwarven Princess to those people in the Rings of Power community. And if this is your first time here, welcome. If you're a returning visitor, welcome back. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you get more updates like this. Don't forget I am doing a Cyberpunk 2077 replay series right now on the PS4 Slim, just checking out performance throughout the game so I can get a updated review on is the game worth it on the PS4 Slim. So far the answer is yes, but I'm probably only about 20 hours into the gameplay so far, so I still have quite a bit to go to see if it's really been fixed all the way through. So if you like that kind of stuff, make sure to check out that playlist as well. Don't forget to support like all of these amazing people. More on that at the end of the video. In the meantime, let's talk about the fact that Cyberpunk 2077 has more than 1 million players per day concurrent across all platforms 2 years after its horrific launch. Not only is it topping Steam charts, when I reported on this, I think about 2 weeks ago, it was the best-selling game on Steam, which was it blew people's minds how it had gone from, relative obscurity, getting pulled off the PlayStation 4 store and having all of these issues and bugs, and then now it's coming back 2 years later. And again, yes, some of that can be contributed to the Cyberpunk show on Netflix, the Edgerunners show, but also just the fact that I think a lot of people forgot that CD Projekt Red makes damn good games. And yeah, sometimes games release with bugs. A lot of people seem to forget that Witcher 3 had a really buggy, kind of janky launch as well. And over time, it was patched and fixed until it became recognized as one of the, if not the best RPG of all time. And so many people were kind of butthurt over the launch of Cyberpunk, and it was a bad launch. It was absolutely a bad launch, but I don't think that that negates the goodwill that the company had built up over all of those years, making just really good games. And at the core of everything, Cyberpunk 2077 is a really good game. And I think the most important thing here is that even though the Netflix show Edgerunners brought people back to the franchise, that is not what has kept people playing the game every single day for the last month. What keeps people playing is when there's a good game to back it all up. And that's essentially what we have here is a really damn good game. Because Netflix shows, like any other thing, are binge watched. And so people come in, they binge watch, they go away and go to the next thing. And so it did have an initial spike in terms of bringing people back to the franchise and getting them hyped about things. And the best part about it is that when it brought people back to the franchise, they found that, oh my, it's actually a really good game. And they've actually fixed the vast majority of bugs. Now, I say vast majority because I will say that in my PS4 Slim playthrough that I've been going through, like I said, I'm about 20 hours into my playthrough now. I think I've done 4 or 5 episodes on YouTube so far. I have noticed now that I'm getting a little deeper into the campaign, there's definitely polish over everything now, and they fix a lot of issues. But I still have seen some weirdness, not game breaking, no crashes or anything like that. But there have been some janky moments where, like, I'll be doing a car chase scene, like where I'm in the car and I'm shooting at something out of the window, and like the um, pistol sound effects aren't there. And then we get to the end of that car chase sequence, and I'm talking to whoever's in the car with me, and all of a sudden, it's like there's this rush of dialogue and audio from like 10 seconds ago or 30 seconds ago that just suddenly plays really quick, a snippet of it, and then it disappears. So there's some weirdness with the audio stuff here and there. And I have seen one example of sort of frame jankiness where I ran around a corner and I was doing a quest and it went to go load something and there was a slight hitch and then all of a sudden all the characters just kind of rushed forward as if they were on fast forward and then they were all in the places that they needed to be. So apart from those two tiny little things, the PS4 Slim playthrough that I've been working through has been flawless to date. The frame rate issues are gone. There's no blue screen crashes. I'm not seeing any T-posing. There's no issues with cars floating around and weird clothing or clipping or things like that. It's been a very good experience, which means they have actually done what they said they were going to do, which is go in and fix all of the fucking bugs that made this such an issue when the game came out. Which goes back to why are there still a million players playing every single day? Because if it was just the initial hype from Edgerunners, they would have come in, played for a week, saw that the bugs were still there, and then went, yeah, fuck this, and bailed. But instead, we see people that are still playing, and that speaks volumes to the fact that Night City is absolutely thriving, as they say in their tweet. Actually, they I think they have a this graphic got me too. The way Jackie's like, "Oh my god!" It made me laugh so hard when I saw that on social media last night, and I bookmarked this article. Um, it's a great game, and yeah, it does. It doesn't hurt that the Netflix show is very good and it brought a lot of people to it, but that's not what kept them there. It is a good game at its core, and the retainment speaks volumes to the fact that the game has a lot of content. Also, of course, as mentioned earlier this year, they have the um, Phantom Liberty DLC coming next year. And then they also have the follow up to the game, which is the next. It's the sequel game that was announced, I think, about 2 weeks ago. In the meantime, though, the only current planned expansion for it is Phantom Liberty. Now, if I had to guess, they'll probably only do the one expansion. They might do one more, but I would estimate that what they're going to be doing is putting a lot of time and effort into getting a sequel out the door. But I think it would also, in my mind, it would behoove them to do like two expansion packs like they did for The Witcher 3, because both of those expansion packs were, I mean, they're all good, but Blood and Wine for me was just what an end to Geralt's storyline, and the fact that we get to have a vineyard at the end of it, and there's vampires, and just there was so much good stuff. Like I said, I have faith in the storytelling team, and yeah, they may have had a hiccup with putting out a buggy release and rushing something out for shareholders, but I think they have currently um, gotten it fixed. So yeah, Project Orion is the code name for the upcoming sequel game that's coming over, and so at the end of the day, if you haven't already dove back into it because of Edgerunners and you're stumbling across this video for the first time, I would say it's definitely worth diving into. I can't speak to other platforms at the moment. I've heard nothing but good things for all the platforms. I'm like playing it on one of the oldest, most base platforms because when I initially bought the game when it launched, I didn't have the Xbox Series X. I literally had the PS4 Slim, and so I'm going back and playing it on that again, as opposed to doing it on the Xbox Series X because I know that the Series X is a flawless experience. I will play Phantom Liberty on the Series X, but for the base game and the replay that I'm doing, I had to get it out of the way and make sure that I was doing it on the oldest system to see if they had actually gotten it to a playable, enjoyable state. And I can say that so far they have. I will be having an official review coming out in the next couple of weeks on that, but in the meantime, you can check out the playthrough series. Those are coming out a couple times a week. And until then, everybody, like I said, like, subscribe, hit the bell icon. If you got to the end and have earned your sub, Hopefully you'll support like all of these amazing people because that's what keeps me going full time here on YouTube. I'm into my fifth month in October of 2022, thanks to the support of all our fans. On a video like this, it's really simple. Just drop a super thanks or join as a member of the Adventurers Guild. There are 3 tiers of membership here on YouTube, starting with the base tier and going up. We do lots of fun stuff for our members. You can also do super chats and stickers on premieres and live streams, and you can also join our Patreon page where my wife and I, and along with my brother, are building a point and click game. We have a 5th edition tabletop game already out, and there's a book series that's all being done through Patreon. So check all that stuff out. And hopefully, I'll see you guys in the next episode and the next playthrough. Stay safe, have fun, and let's enjoy Night City, everybody. Peace.